And it's donut time. Nutella donut time, to be precise. Absolutely love a little donut, if I'm being honest with you. Could have done jam, I could have done custard, but obviously chocolate was the way forward. So I got a massive jar of Nutella and I thought, let's get at it. So how do you make donuts? How do you make a giant donut? Let me show you. Carefully, actually, is the right answer, because you have to fry it in quite a hefty amount of oil, so very carefully. So hard hats and health and safety briefings aside, what I use to make my donut dough is 850 grams of strong white bread flour, 100 grams of sugar, 12 grams of salt, 14 grams of instant yeast, 4 large free-range eggs, 320 millilitres of warmed milk, and 120 grams of softened butter. Which I'm now not going to soften my butter, because I've recently found the best way of doing this is to just chop up hard butter and then put it in the warming milk on the pan. Seems to save a bit of time, and obviously I do feel nice and innovative, so yeah. Then to make a donut dough, much like 90% of the doughs on the planet, you get all of the dry ingredients together and then put it with the eggs and the wet ingredients. Mix that up and then leave that to rise for an annoyingly long amount of time. But whilst it is proofing, obviously you can get with making the mixture in the middle. In this case, Nutella. Now obviously just having Nutella in the middle of a donut may have been a bit claggy, a bit, you know, not quite there. So I made a Nutella ganache, which was unsurprisingly fantastic. So ganache has been made, the dough had proofed completely. I separated it into 2 portions. Spoiler alert, there is another donut coming up soon. But then I entered the danger zone in my kitchen by filling a large pan about 3/4 or half to 3/4 of the way up with vegetable oil, and then heating that up to between 140 and 160 degrees. And unless you've got a larger pot or vessel, or you're making smaller donuts, I mean, I seriously do not recommend anyone does this at home. It was sketchy to say the least. But I did it, the donut got fried, and then on to putting the filling in, which I have to use a piping bag. And if anyone's ever seen the French fancy video that I did, literally right at the beginning, my first video, I absolutely messed up how to pipe things in a piping bag. So I learned from my mistakes and did it a bit better this time, thankfully. So ganache goes in and sugar goes on top, and that's it. That's how you make a donut. Obviously the ganache was by far the best choice I've ever made in my life, because look at that. That is fantastic. Could you imagine if you don't get that kind of spill just with normal Nutella? You'd be fuming. So after a quick weigh, just under 1 kilogram, it is by far the chocolatiest and the biggest donut I've ever tried in my entire life. And it hit the spot perfectly.